Two Poway men sentenced to prison for supplying a local firefighter with fentanyl that led to an overdose.
Plus, a man accused of sex crimes against women he met online learns his fate in court.
A new study reveals a pandemic physically aged teens' brains. Details coming up.
We have you prepared before you hit the road tonight. Lanes of a local major highway will be closed for wrong-way driver vehicle sensor testing.
And raising money to benefit sick children started off with the loss of one. Carols by candlelight.
CBS 8 News Live at 6 starts now.
Long prison sentences handed down for two San Diegans who helped a local firefighter get a fatal dose of fentanyl. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Carlo Cicchetto.
I'm Marcella Lee. The people who supplied Brian Parrish with the deadly drugs are now serving sentences of more than a decade behind bars. As CBS 8's Steve Price reports, the U.S. Attorney's Office hopes this case sends a message to others across our county who are selling fentanyl.
Two men who live in Poway sentenced to prison, one for 15 years, the other for 12, after pleading guilty to supplying a local firefighter with fentanyl. That firefighter later died from an overdose.
Brian was a hard-working, positive, and driven firefighter.
Co-workers, family, and friends with a heartbreaking, tearful goodbye to Brian Parrish, who died unexpectedly last year. They would later learn the CAL FIRE firefighter died from a fentanyl overdose.
This is a problem that is affecting all ages, all races, all socioeconomic groups.
Assistant U.S. Attorney Lawrence Casper says 817 people died in our county last year from fentanyl. That's an average of more than 2 every day.
These are not people who are homeless, who are in the streets. These are everyday, ordinary people.
Casper says Parrish became addicted to painkillers after being treated with opioid medications following a car accident. It's a story he hears a lot.
Many times that results in them suffering and the pain is too much for them to bear, and they turn to illicit drugs and ultimately, sadly, to fentanyl.
Parrish got the drugs with help from a friend who knew a dealer. That dealer pleaded guilty to supplying fentanyl and was just sentenced to 15 years in prison. Parrish's friend who set up the deal got 12 years.
We're pleased with the sentence. It sends a strong message to those in the community that dealing fentanyl is a crime. It's a serious crime that will result in serious penalties.
Parrish's family is letting the U.S. Attorney's Office talk about Brian's case with the hope that sharing his story will save other families from feeling their pain. In a statement to CBS 8, they said, hopefully we can reach or inspire someone who could potentially need help to ask for help, to destigmatize the idea that no one is out of the reach of addiction. Please know that what happened with Brian does not dictate the type of person that he was and all of the wonderful things that he achieved and all of the people who he saved in his career as a firefighter. Brian Parrish was 43 years old. Steve Price, CBS 8.
We thank his family for sharing his story. Thanks, Steve. A 14-year-old student at West Hills High School in Santee is getting psychologically evaluated tonight. Sheriff's investigators say he threatened to bring his grandparents' guns to school because he was upset about his failing grades. Classes went on as usual today with extra patrols on campus out of an abundance of caution. Investigators say the boy made the threats on social media last night. Deputies went to his home, talked to him and his parents before he was taken to a medical facility.
A Carlsbad financial planner was in court today for sentencing after pleading guilty to drugging and sexually assaulting several girls and women. CBS 8's David Goffredson was in court as 2 of the 7 victims spoke directly to the man convicted of abusing them.
He was also a pillar of his community.
Michael Fangman had no criminal history. He was a successful financial planner and father of 2 before his life fell apart.
I, much as any individual, am responsible for my own decision and accountable for my own actions.
The Carlsbad resident went through a nasty divorce in 2018, started using crystal meth and surfing the internet looking for young girls.
I often, in service to my own selfish needs, brought only havoc and harm. For this, I am deeply, deeply sorry.
Officers arrested him in 2019 after a 16-year-old victim went to police. Eventually, more victims came forward. Fangman pleaded guilty last month to sex crimes involving 7 girls and women, including giving heroin to a minor and sexually assaulting her. At sentencing in North County Court Tuesday, 2 of the victims spoke.
Please never forget, you are not the only one gaining lifelong trauma here. We were the ones that were first up to bat with this.
The women spoke openly, agreeing to have their faces shown on television.
Michael Fangman is at fault for every victim he raped and sexually abused. He's a monster, will always be a monster, and mark my words, again, will reoffend the second he gets a chance to in a very bad way.
One of the victims was on the defendant's softball team when he coached teenage girls.
He was so forward with his remarks that a 14-year-old girl could read between the lines and decipher his true sexual intentions.
Deputy District Attorney Ben Barlow told the court Fangman targeted vulnerable victims.
He enjoyed seeing these girls break. He enjoyed finding broken young girls and breaking them even more, and that's what he's done.
In the end, the judge sentenced Fangman to the maximum as agreed under his plea deal, 18 years in prison. So that's 18 years in prison, but the defendant has already spent 3 years behind bars, and with good behavior, he could be released in as little as 6 years. He will be required to register as a sex offender for the rest of his life. In Vista, David Gottfredson, CBS 8.
Thank you, David. The FBI says there's been a 300% increase in cyber crimes during the pandemic. More than half are aimed at small and medium-sized businesses. The city of San Diego has launched a new regional cyber lab to help those businesses. The idea is that people can come to the lab to get free cybersecurity training and bring that knowledge back to their employers.
This is really important because as a region, we've got access to more resources, and sharing those resources can help us all improve our cybersecurity readiness.
This cyber lab was funded by grants from the Department of Homeland Security totaling about $900,000.
New technology for the state of California and San Diego aims to prevent wrong-way crashes for good. Caltrans crews are testing this new system tonight, which means all westbound lanes of a portion of a major freeway will be closed. CBS 8's Ariana Cohen tells us exactly where and how this technology works.
More than 3,800 people have died from wrong-way crashes from 2010 to 2018 in the U.S., according to AAA. Now Caltrans is working hard to bring an end to this.
Yesterday, a motorcyclist was traveling on the wrong side of North Torrey Pines Road when the rider hit an SUV. The motorcyclist died. And back in August, a woman drove the wrong way on 52 West when she hit a 49-year-old driver who died at the scene.
In 2021, we did see a spike of wrong-way crashes that resulted in fatalities. And the time before that, we saw an uptick. So it was on the increase and rise.
That spike is the reason why tonight Caltrans crews are closing all lanes westbound of I-8 at Mission Bay from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. for wrong-way driver vehicle sensor testing at the Sunset Cliffs Boulevard off-ramp. All westbound traffic will be detoured to the Mission Bay Drive off-ramp. They plan to implement this approximately $50,000 to $70,000 system across San Diego. That cost is per installation.
I think the project ultimately will probably address maybe 70 exit ramps in the region.
With this new technology they are testing, wrong-way drivers will be alerted with red reflective pavement markers, LED bordered "Do Not Enter" signs, and an audible voice that tells the driver they are going the wrong way. The detection system also sends a message to Caltrans to notify them a driver is traveling the wrong direction. Caltrans says it will be piloted for a year and is expected to be operational in a few weeks when the project is complete.
It's a technology that I think will benefit the the traveling public and hopefully preventing any wrong-way drivers.
Again, the testing will go from 9 tonight until 5 a.m., so plan accordingly before you hit the road. For CBS 8, I'm Ariana Cohen.
Any little bit helps, so let's hope that this works. Thanks, Ariana. Tonight, San Diego Mayor Todd Gloria is on Capitol Hill.
He's at the National Housing Conference talking about key issues affecting San Diego like fentanyl, homelessness, and housing. He says homelessness is the toughest challenge right now and believes the response must be aggressive. To solve San Diego's housing crisis, he says he needs the state of California's help.
San Diego cannot solve the state's housing crisis by itself. And not every city is pro-housing like the city of San Diego. And so we need Sacramento, in our case, to pass legislation to get everyone to kind of catch up.
The mayor also said today that fentanyl is fueling addiction in cities like San Diego. Coming up tomorrow night at 6, Mayor Todd Gloria will join us live in studio to answer your questions.
Water service is expected to be restored by 9 o'clock tonight to at least 5 Chula Vista businesses affected by a big water main break. It happened today at 3rd Avenue and Park Way. Drivers are being warned to avoid this area while crews make repairs. We still don't know what caused the main to break.
Still ahead tonight, are more vaccinated people dying of COVID complications than those who are unvaccinated? Our Verify team clears up a viral claim.
Plus, nearly 2 years after the January 6th insurrection, a big honor for the heroes who put their lives on the line.
Cloud cover going strong for tonight as we have a storm system that is approaching. Now, it's a slow mover, so we did push back that window of opportunity when it comes to rain. I'll let you know when, coming up.
And up next, all eyes are on Georgia tonight after the polls close in a contentious Senate runoff.